Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to do an apartment tour of the Airbnb that we are staying in here in Ho Chi Minh City or Saigon in Vietnam. And we're gonna give you kind of that honest look of what it's like living in a local kind of place. So we're gonna give you a tour of the apartment that we're staying in, just to give you some context. So when we go to a new city, our goal when it comes to accommodations is to find something under $25 a night. Sometimes that's pretty easy, sometimes it's a little more challenging, but that's kind of our goal. We like finding places that have a kitchen so that we can cook at home, both for that kind of saves us some money, but also sometimes we just get lazy and don't want to go out at night. So it's kind of a win-win for us to have a kitchen. We pay a little bit more for that kitchen, but usually in the long run it works out for us. Here in Saigon, we found a good place on Airbnb. It's $20 a night. And we just wanted to give you kind of an honest look of what this place looks like. There's some very good things about it that we really like, and there's also some things that some of you might be a little surprised with, or even that we are a little surprised with. Coming into this place was a little bit tricky to find. It wasn't that hard really, but kind of when you enter the building, it's not like what we're used to where there's a big entrance and you walk in and there's a lobby and an elevator. We kind of enter the building through a parking garage, and you have to walk back through the parking garage, and kind of hidden around a couple corners is this little teeny elevator it's one elevator that services this entire block. This is a local apartment complex, so we are pretty close to the main part of downtown. It's a really good location, but we are living here with locals. Like, it's not a hotel or anything like that. So I find it very charming, but just when we're walking through, we'll show you some video. Like, it's pretty basic, and we're surrounded by people who just live here. It's not other tourists. So I kind of like that. But then we get to the apartment. So first things first, the most important thing for us when we are looking at a place is that I need to be able to sleep. So this place, you can see we've got a bed here. We thought this was a single bed, and then there was another single bed on top, but this is queen size. So there's actually two queen size beds in here, so we haven't even used the one up top. It's just a mattress, on the wooden platform, but I have slept really, really good in here. So number one priority, this apartment checks off. We do have air conditioning, which works really well, which has been great. And also we got in this apartment a fan, which you don't always get both, and that has been really nice. We've done some laundry here, and the fan does a really good job at helping us just dry everything a little bit faster. So that is our number one requirement: good place to sleep, good air conditioning so that we can sleep, so it's not too hard. This apartment checks both of those boxes, so we're very happy with that. Just on the how do things look range, it is very easy to see this apartment is worn. It's got kind of this shabby, chic paint job that is clearly deliberate, so that's fine. There are some exposed wires and things. I don't know, David, if you can get some footage of this floor. They put in wood flooring, which is nice, but you can see it's pretty worn, and there's these gaps because the flooring is all loose, and so it moves as you walk. So we usually try and close all these, and then by the end of the day, they're all open again because they just move. So that's interesting. We do have a little view here of some of the other apartments. You can see they've got their laundry out. One of our favorite things here is there's some nesting pigeons. There's lots of pigeons here. But if you can see, they've got some babies over there. So we've been watching the little babies get fed and grow up for this past week. So that's been nice. You can see over here too. So there were supposed to be shelves that clearly have been ripped out of the wall. I think there's many things that have probably been here. I have no idea how old this apartment is or how many people have lived here, but you can definitely see evidence of past things. Also over here was supposed to be a table, And you can see this has recently been just ripped out of the wall. It's even better over here. And the table that was here has actually just been shoved underneath the bed there. So we did not get a table here, which was kind of a disappointment. We like having a place to eat and to work, and we didn't get that in the end. But in the end, it's been fine. We've got these stools that we're supposed to use to sit at the table, and I've just been using that as a table over here. We do have a refrigerator and a microwave. There's actually a mirror here, which is one of those things you don't think about very often. Hi, David. But that's kind of a nice feature. Let's talk about the bathroom. So the bathroom fascinates me. So like a lot of places, they have a wet bathroom here, which means there's a toilet and a sink and a shower, and it's all kind of together. So when you take a shower, kind of everything gets wet. That's not super uncommon, but we do have one of those here. But let's come talk about the shower. So I think this has been converted. This was probably used to all be the bathroom, although I'm not sure about that, but there is a little kitchen here, and we've barely used it, to be honest. It is so cheap to eat out, just very affordable. I mean, we're going to pho places and banh mi, and it's usually $2-3 a person. And if you go to a grocery store and try and get groceries, it's actually more expensive to make most things, that we would make as an American, getting pasta or cereal or anything like that. So we actually have barely used the kitchen, knowing that if I would come back to Saigon, I would not get a place with a kitchen because we just haven't used it. But anyway, we have the little kitchen here, and then we have the bathroom. So the funniest thing to me is that it's got a sliding glass door that is frozen. Like, it does not move. It is totally stuck in the half open, half closed position. So let's come in, David. I'm gonna squeeze in, and let's talk about the shower. So, most showers in Asia, there's not like a big water heater in the garage like we have back in the States. They usually have this little box that is a heater, and then the water comes in, and when you turn this on, it heats the water right here, and then it comes out over here. So here, give me the camera. I'm gonna show this little part. So you can see our heater here, and then it's connected to the electricity here. The idea that you have wires in the bathroom, right where you're taking a shower, is a little concerning sometimes. A little bit like, is this the day that I'm going to get electrocuted and die naked in a foreign country? Fortunately, that's never happened. Over the last 20 years that we've been kind of traveling to Asia, 25 years, these units have gotten much better. We've been in ones, especially here in Vietnam 25 years ago, where the wires were exposed and it was much more scary. It's getting much better now. They usually work pretty well, and it's not been an issue. Now here we had problems with the hot water going out, and what we found is there's a switch on the wall over here that manages the hot water, and that turns it on. Sometimes it flips off by itself. We're still not really sure why it does that. I suspect it has to do with overload, like if we've got the air conditioning on too or something like that, although we haven't had enough time to test that out. So that's just a little bit weird. The other thing, and we don't have to show this, but just so you know, the toilet leaks a little bit. And I haven't got down and really looked at it, but I looked behind it, and it seems to be clean water, like it's coming out from the water tap. So when you flush it, or if you use the bum gun, it does just drain water out onto the floor. There's a drain in here. It doesn't stand. It dries pretty quickly. So it's not that big of a deal, but it's just one of those things you have to be aware of in a place like this. So that's the bathroom. The last thing I wanted to mention, because this is just sort of a weird one, is when we came in, There is a lock on the door, and then there's a deadbolt that you can slide open. You know, you slide into it and then put a padlock on it. The padlock that they provided, like, we really struggled with trying to get unlocked. Fortunately, we travel with a lock. It's one of those things we're always on the verge of getting rid of because we hardly ever use it. But here it came in perfectly handy because we could use it on the door. What we realized though, when we came in the first time, is that the padlock is on the outside of the door.
If we are inside the apartment and we don't lock this in the open position, someone could just come along and lock us into our apartment, which doesn't seem very safe. So now every time we are inside, we make sure we lock this open before we go inside.
It's a little disconcerting. I can't imagine why anyone would ever do that, but like, just the fact that it's a possibility that someone could lock you in the apartment was kind of nerve-wracking. Anyway, so this is our place. We've been here 10 days tomorrow, and then we are moving from here over to the other side of District 1, which is kind of like the main area here in Saigon. And so we're gonna move tomorrow to a new place. We'll see what that looks like. But this has been just a very interesting place to stay. We have not complained to our landlord about the stuff that's missing. Most of that stuff I think is either funny or interesting or just isn't that big of a deal at the end of the day. But I just thought it would be interesting for you to kind of get an idea of where it is that we're staying and what our experience is, and how we're doing it for pretty affordably, and still able to kind of hit those things that are really important for us to make sure we have a good experience. We are loving it here in Saigon. It is a great place. We're eating so well, so that part has been great. So definitely a place you might want to come, and just know if you look in a local building for an Airbnb, this is the kind of thing you might want to expect. Have a good day, and we will talk to you next time.
Today and not tomorrow.